Okay. I just wanted to get something going here before I did anything out of the ordinary. I'm a little concerned how this is going to work, so let me do something here. Hold on. I'm going to drag one of my palettes over to the other side. So it's going to affect the recording here for a second. Okay, there we go. All right. Change up the layout. We're going to go over here. Put you over here. Okay. Are you here, Stephen? Can you see me?
Yep. Got a bit of crackle. Just give me a second.
No, that's fine. It's no rush. And I am recording on Camtasia just to see how this goes and whether or not it'll hold up.
Right. Okay. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I could actually hear you in the palette, but I don't think you could hear me in the palette. Could you? When I was talking to you there for a bit, and you couldn't hear me.
No, I can't. I couldn't hear a thing.
Okay. No biggie.
Your voice at the moment. I'm just gonna might refresh.
All right, I'm gonna hold on a second.
Yeah, your voice is a bit cracked, so I'm gonna refresh.
Well, that was probably me. Can you hear me now?
All right.
Does that sound better?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, you go ahead and try. Now, when you say refresh, what do you gotta realize?
No, I was just gonna refresh the browser.
Oh, okay. Well, let me drag you off before you do that because that's one of the things you got to avoid. All right. Once you disappear, then go ahead and refresh. All right. Okay. Getting excited. It's almost noontime, which means we have a show to do. I'll start sharing this stuff out, I suppose would probably help, huh? Let's share it out, shall we? I wish I could share this in the group. Okay, we're going to do it this way. Okay, out to live stream USA. Excuse me. And I have to send that out to Twitter. So, Stephen, he's back. Alright, let's get him up here. I'll invite him back into the show. Stephen. Okay, see, once you do it once, now we gotta do it. He's in my palette, it says, but I don't see him yet. There he is. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I've still got a bit of a crackle. We'll see what it's like when it goes out.
Really? Okay. Well, let me refresh myself then. Well, yeah, because I haven't gone live yet anyway. So, hold on one second, Stephen. Let me refresh myself.
Okay.
Okay, add my camera. Okay, can you hear me? Hear me now? All right, let's do this. I'm just going to drag me out here. Drag you out here. Let's see what happens with this. Whoa, where'd you go? I dragged you out there. Now I can't drag you out on stage anymore. Oh, there you go. Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Right, that's me back, and just waiting for Leland. So, yeah.
Oh, I'm here. You just can't see me.
Normally, I could just see the 5 dots.
Yeah.
Hello? Perfect.
Yeah, I was here the whole time.
For a second, that sound was perfect.
Alright, hold on. How's that? Can you see me now?
I can hear you perfectly now. Yep.
But you can see me too, right?
I can see you, yep.
Sometimes you can't. You got to make sure that people can see it. I mean, that's the other thing with this fancy world we live in of live streaming. So I did share it out to the Livestream USA group, but I have not shared it out to Twitter yet. So we'll go ahead and do that. The frame I'm recording, Stephen, just so you know, and it may require a little post-production, is that of the entire Smile Time experience. I'm hoping it doesn't affect my ability to play out here. So if you do see some real issues with my streaming, I may cancel the one here on my end and just rely on the Facebook stream. So we'll see what happens here.
Right. Okay.
So give me just a second. We're just about on the 12 o'clock. I have not gone live yet, so let me do that, and then we'll be able to get going here. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
We'll stream this out to Facebook. And would you like to put this on your page? Oh, I can't do it. That's one thing we're going to be working on. They're going to allow us to do that soon also, I think.
That would be good.
This is going to go out to Leland Best Live this time.
All right.
So that we can make sure Smile Time gets a copy. Someday we'll get a VOD version of that, I hope.
I hope so too.
Oh, I know it's coming. It's just a matter of waiting. At least we've got something back there. But by the time we get it, it'll be too late. It's like, come on, man, we want our video.
Well, I'm the heart. I mean, the integration of Facebook, you know, I mean, they've been beaten to the punch on that one. But I'd love to see it on here. I really would love to see the Facebook integration, because that, as we've learned from using it, it is a game changer.
Oh, for sure. Just to have the ability to save yourself the bandwidth of going out there on Facebook.
Right. So I'm on your page now.
Yeah. And it should be coming up. It hasn't beamed up yet. I got to hit the go live button, which I just have. So
okay,
we're good. Streaming. Take it away, Stephen.
Right. Okay. I'm just coming back. Sorry, you caught me off guard there. Oh, good. Right. Good afternoon. Welcome to Across the Pond. Now, we think this is episode 14, but it could be 15, but we'll check back on that. But it's good to see you again, Leland.
Nice to see you also, Stephen. From this side of the pond to yours, cheers, for sure.
And cheers from here, too. And some news from this side of the pond. The first story this week that we've got is that at long last, after years and years of arguing, the government are going to announce the extension to an airport.
Oh.
Now, Heathrow was the largest airport in the world, traffic-wise. 100 million people a year go through Heathrow. It's the largest hub in the world because we've got the American traffic, we've got the European traffic, we've got the Far Eastern traffic. So it was the largest airport in the world. And they've been pushing for an extra runway since forever, and successive governments have dodged it. There's been reports galore. Committees have looked at it and decided that, you know, because we've got two competing airports. We've got Heathrow and we've got Gatwick, and both want to expand, both want the extra runway, both want the extra money. And next week, hopefully, we will find out which one it is. My money's on Heathrow, actually, because that's the easiest one to get to.
Yeah, and there's no doubt that putting together additions to major airports is no small task, and I know that from a personal perspective because not only did I work on some of the design that was involved in the airport just down the street from me, which is known as Bishop Airport in Flint, Michigan, but my cousins and others involved family-wise that work for a larger construction entity worked on the Detroit Metro Airport and the runways that they did out there. So that's no little task when it comes to having to pour about 18 to 24 inches of concrete to, and sometimes even thicker depths than that, to accommodate landing a 747 on a piece of land. It's not simply bringing them in on a plain old roadway. You have to construct a very elaborate concrete structure in order to take on that weight. So good luck. I hope it works out.
I mean, it's a commercial decision. It's a public decision. It affects housing. It affects a whole raft of things. But on balance, the last committee to look at it recommended that Heathrow should get the extra runway. And I'm looking forward to that announcement next week because it affects everybody. For sure. Because Heathrow is our major airport. And hope it goes our way. Right, on your side of the Atlantic this week, sir, what's happening?
Just incredible, really, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm going to just kind of jump right into politics because there was some, and I'm not a big follower, I guess, but with this type of process that's taking place over here with all the back and forth slandering and just literally beating each other down to a pulp. We've never seen anything like this in the past over here in the U.S., where each of the candidates is really out to smear each other so badly that they won't stop at anything to do so. And what we've discovered recently, a lot of stuff, obviously, people know WikiLeaks has been dumping a lot of stuff about the Hillary campaign on the table at the very last minute here. Anonymous even stepped up to the plate and made mention that Hillary had doctored the tapes of Donald and his conversations with Billy Bush. And there's other things that have come up recently which are really shocking to me. And if I'm going to make it easy, I'm not going to play video of this. I would rather people just do this on their own. If you look up the term bird dogging and head over to what was just recently posted by an undercover group that went out and worked against Hillary, you might say, in some form or another, to try and dig up some information. What they discovered was that the DNC, or the Democratic National Committee, had actually been paying and sending people to go to any and every campaign that Donald had put together to go out and basically instigate and provoke people outside these campaigns any of the times that he was there to make Donald's followers and supporters look like idiots. I mean, it was basically come out there, let's poke them in the face, let's bring up topics they get heated and adamant about, that they're very passionate about, and let's tweak them, let's poke at them, let's make them go off in front of the cameras so that people think these people are all nuts. And you know, I'm sorry, but that's a term called bird dogging. It's basically meant to provoke, it's meant to cause anger, it's meant to bring down the house, because that's the type of undermining campaign that Hillary's been running. I'm rather disgusted. I'm not a real supporter of either side, to be honest with you. I don't consider myself a Republican or a Democrat. I consider myself somewhere in between. So for me, it's one of those issues where, you know, I know where I'm going to vote, and that's my decision to make. It's nobody else's business how I'm going to vote. But the fact of the matter stands, in this type of politics is really probably the worst expression of what we always thought was good in this country, was the ability to place someone in office based on the vote of the people. And yet we're discovering that, you know, we've put two of the biggest idiots on stage, and they really haven't come across as, either one of them have never come across as someone who could really run this country. So it's sad, but it's the times we live in. So what do we do?
I don't know. I mean, I've got to say, looking in from the outside, it does look like a very strange situation. I mean, more than one person has said, how can those two people be the ones that have actually made it to the presidential race? Now, I know there are two others in there as well, at least. And you don't know who to believe or what to believe. I mean, you've got to believe what you see and what you hear, providing it's not been doctored. So from our side of the pond, I hope that the right result comes out. I mean, there's nothing we can do to affect it, and business will continue whatever happens.
No, but I did hear there was some stuff going on over, and this kind of expands into what also is happening across the globe thanks to the campaigns over here. You know, we know there have been ties with Hillary and those involved over in Iran and Benghazi and all the other stuff that's taken place with ISIS. But not only that, it's gone an extra mile now. And now we're talking, people are talking, I should say, about what's happening over in Serbia and how Russia and the U.S. are nearly at arms with each other right now, which is going to, you know, cause issues globally. This is not, it may be two countries on either end of the globe, but you guys are right there in the middle, and some stuff just recently took place. I don't know if you saw the news about some of the Russian banks located in London, or broadcasting stations in London and banks in London, that have shut down Putin's access to some of the things there in your end of the pond. Do you know anything, or can you elaborate on anything of that?
I've heard of. I don't have. I haven't actually read of. Okay. I mean, the situation is that I'm not sure what. Welcome, John. I'm not sure what's up either. The situation is that Syria is.
Oh, did I say Serbia?
Sorry, you're okay. Syria, it's Aleppo. It's a battleground at the moment. There's another ceasefire about to start later this week. And the city of Aleppo, well, I mean, devastated, doesn't even cover it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's been a situation where the Russians and on one side and the Syrians as well, and UK and America on the other side have been taking part in a war which has destroyed the country.
Yes.
And there are no rights and wrongs in this. It's just got to stop. And somebody's got to say stop, and somebody else has got to say stop. And until everybody agrees to stop, then what's happening is that innocent civilians are being bombed, unfortunately, by both sides. And there's no, if you bomb civilians, then you don't need to go any further than that
Yeah.
in terms of who's right and who's wrong. So they are at loggerheads over Syria. That's not the only thing. Russia has been making advances
Oh.
in Europe militarily and moving its assets around. Have you ever played Risk?
Oh
It's a
yeah.
board
Love
game.
that game.
Risk. Okay. Right. Okay. Well, what the what the Syrians are doing, which is obviously not a game, is that they're moving their forces nearer to the Russian border,
Yeah.
and British forces are being moved too. So we are. It could be another Cold War. We just have to hope that somebody gets into office in the USA before January who can sort this out. Because at the moment, it's the same in this country when we change government. There's an interim period in which there is nobody who can really get to grips with it and control it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree that.
Well, that was part of the problem, Stephen, and it was based on the fact that a lot of people believe that Hillary, or at least some of those involved on this end, and it could be the banks, it could be a lot of other controlling factors, that they're pushing this war, that they want the U.S. and Russia to go to war so that they have a reason to either keep President Obama in office. That's one possibility. Okay, these are just the stories that are being tossed around. That this will help Hillary and her banking establishment be able to reset the banking industry because it's failing right now so miserably that, you've got interest rates that are skyrocketing. I remember when I was a kid and I went to, I would go on to, you used to see that 25 to 30% interest rates had a name. It was called loan sharking. Okay.
It was, yeah.
That was the term. It was illegal as hell. And it's just a simple fact. You could not charge those types of interest rates. Yet every time you get a new credit card nowadays, what's the first thing you see is usually between 19 and 29% as an interest rate being charged on a credit card. And yet you go to the bank and all you will ever make is like 0.1% interest on your money. Now, there's a severe shortcoming there when it comes to who's making the money in the banking industry. So there's thoughts that, before it fails miserably and all these bankers lose everything they have, they need to reset everything. And going to war is one way to do that. So that's another aspect of it. And it's really sad to see that the Russians are taking a stand that, look, you guys need to stop whatever it is you're trying to do. This is not your business. This is between us and Syria. This is not a concern of yours. This is over land that is not yours to contend with. And obviously we as a humanitarian society want to step up to the plate and say, look, you guys just have to stop killing each other. But what do you do? What do you do?
I don't know. I don't think anybody's got the answer at the moment. They're all trying. There are talks taking place, which is all to the good. And one can but hope that they manage to get something which everybody can live with.
So let's go on to brighter topics then. What else can we talk?
We should. What else? Well, not brighter. Well, brighter topics. Literally, Samsung 7, which explodes. We know that. We know that Samsung have stopped making it.
Yeah.
But the latest development is if you go to the airport in Melbourne or Sydney or airports around the world, and you've got your Samsung 7 with you, you won't be allowed to fly. If you've not turned it in, you can't fly with it. So Samsung have opened shops within the airport where you can go and trade in your phone or get your money back.
Oh, yeah, I saw something on the newsfeed go by just this morning on that. So they're actually accepting trades as you walk into the airport so you don't blow up their plane.
Indeed, because you can't take it onto the plane. If your phone can't go, then what are you going to do when you get to the end? So I'm hoping that the trade-ins that they give are the same as the trade-ins if you send your phone off or you take it to your dealer. But I mean, the whole thing is just, are we getting too clever with these designs, making the phones
Obviously not.
do so much that they overheat? Mind you, it's only the 7 which is affected. I think that they've got a great deal of work to do to get the reputation back, because we were getting towards the stage where people would say, are you going to have an iPhone or a Samsung? And there is, from my interview, had an iPhone, got a Samsung. You went on features, didn't you?
Don't forget, if you want to spend $700 for a phone, you can go buy the new Google Pixel now, too. So we do have an Android competitor, supposedly. I haven't got one in my hand yet to try it, so who knows?
Well, I mean, we watched the presentation 2 weeks ago, and it looks spectacular and worth having a look at next time you're in the phone shop, because it does things that the other phones will never do, because Google have said, hands off, that's our software. So when you've got the football and you say, right, the game doesn't go on unless you play with then
oh, for sure,
the advantage.
All right, I got something along the technology route I wanted to show you, Stephen. This is something that I just dug up today. I thought it was kind of interesting, so I'm going to drag the screen out just a little bit for a second. We're going to change layouts for just a moment so I can get off to the side here. I'm going to take the screen for just a second, and I'm going to share out a screen here. I apologize because I'm recording my desktop, and I didn't want to destroy the possibility of the recording here. But again, we're recording on the back end, and we're recording on Facebook Live, so one way or another, we're going to make this happen. I saw this 3D printer process today online, and I thought it was really cool. So I'm going to pull it up on Facebook. It's a short video. It's not very long. As long as I can keep it here on the screen, we'll be good to go. So let me bring up my screen share over there. And you're going to see a little bit of an effect here shortly because I got to drag one screen over to the other. It would be nice if we had some screen share on Smile Time sometimes, wouldn't it? All right, I'm going to disappear for just a second and pop up the video so you guys can see this, and it should tag right along. I'm going to put some sound to it just for a second. It's not a very long video, so bear with me. This is a nifty little 3D printer process that's taking place.
I'm Monica with Insider. We're here at Doob, and I'm going to get a 3D printed selfie. What? Let's go.
People come in to make them of their pets, or sort of as like a family portrait.
So step one is we want to help you find a pose.
All right.
Got a mirror right here.
All right. Let's see. I think that might be the winner.
Attitude. Now that you have your pose, let's go into the duplicator.
Come on.
Incredible, isn't it? Okay.
That's like oddly realistic. Just what the world needs. Another Monica. I think I'll probably put this on my wedding cake. Just me. Just on the top. Do you think this looks like me?
That's a perfect image. A mini.
A mini you, but which one's better?
Obviously.
Wow.
If you want one of them, you can probably go find them over at Insider Design. I'm going to come back to the screen here and get this thing rolling. I just thought that was kind of cool. Wanted to share that with everybody real quick while I had the opportunity. So let me get rid of my little overlay here.
A video with sound. We'll have to get together, and you'll have to show me how to get the sound sorted on vMix. Presumably you're using vMix?
Okay, I'm going to bring you back up to the stage here, Stephen. I just wanted to show everybody that, and I thought it was cool. I saw it this morning, and I was like, wow, that's taking technology to the next level to where you can really make something so realistic. I mean, that would be like something you could make the grandmother and grandfather and as the pinnacle patriarch, matriarch of the family. It would almost be something you could put on your fireplace and have for prosperity's sake, that there they were captured at, a prime of their life or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
It'd be kind of a cool memorabilia, or, a remembrance piece.
If you think of your children growing up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. At the moment you got photographs. If you did one of those every birthday, then
do one like every 5 years. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Yep. Indeed. Well, that was definitely cool and definitely worth looking at.
So what else we got?
Well, okay, I'm going to come back to a political thing just for a moment, because we can't ignore Brexit. We can't ignore Brexit in the UK. We voted in June to leave the EU, 51.9% to 48%.
Really?
And the government is going through with it. Our Prime Minister Theresa May said they're going to go through it with it. They're going for a hard Brexit, which means we leave what is effectively a customs union. So we have to renegotiate all our tariffs with every single country, which means that we're hiring lots of civil servants, and we're hiring negotiators from all around the globe to help us negotiate new tariff deals. That's not the problem there. The problem is that in the UK, it was stated 6, 7, 8 years ago that a referendum is not binding. In other words, the government doesn't have to do anything. Now, it would be a fool who went up against the will of the people. I think that's true both sides of the Atlantic. So in the UK, the government is going ahead with it. But they are saying that they're going to keep their negotiations quiet because they're not going to do it so we all know what's going on, because otherwise we'd have a panic every day. They're going to tell us in 2019 what a good deal we've done. They've done on our behalf. And our MPs will be able to vote whether they accept it or not. So there will be a vote in Parliament, and presumably if they don't accept the deal in 2019, then I don't know where that leaves us, because as soon as she presses the button next March to leave, we've got to leave. So another mess.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to really leave, I suppose you could go one step further and you could head over to Asgardia, right? That would be the next place to go. I'm just going to kind of replace myself with this. This was another news story I saw. This is what we're calling Asgardia. It's supposedly, they're taking applications to become a citizen of a national, actually a new country, you might say. You would have new citizenship, and it would only be those that can apply that are in countries that will allow for dual citizenship. You could be a citizen of Asgardia, which is going to be a space station endeavor that'll circle around the Earth. So, you want to go sign up, Stephen? Should we?
Not today. No. I mean, once there are people on board there, and they've been there a few months. What about you?
Oh well, I thought it was kind of one of those crony type things. Like, okay, that's a little elitist for me. But when I read the article, it was actually kind of interesting, and it showed up on space.com. So, and it's something I just love to read about space stories and things that are going on in the space industry, but especially with recent events that have been taking place with SpaceX and things like that. And they had a terrible occurrence that took place with their latest explosion of their rocket that was supposed to go up about a month ago. But in regard to that, they're looking to actually apply to the UN to be a legal entity. So they need like 100,000 people to consider citizenship in this endeavor, and then they would crowdfund a flag design, and they have, there's 7.5 billion people on the Earth. They're hoping for about 150 million to say, you know what, I want to become a dual citizen of the UK and Asgardia, or the US and Asgardia. I thought it was kind of unique. It's a different take on nationalism.
I quite enjoy walking out the door and sun beating down, and the grass is green and everything's pretty darn good. So living in a spaceship, not today, thank you. Not today.
Not my cup of tea either. I don't think I could do it. I really don't. So anything else happening on your side of the pond, Steve?
Right. Well, yeah. One thing which did come up today. You know the London cabs, the black cabs.
Yeah.
In London. Okay, ubiquitous in London, and famous around the world. If you come to London, then you take a taxi and you take a black cab. Right. Okay. That used to be the way. We know of another way of doing it, don't we? Which is Uber. And obviously, you can now get an Uber ride in London. Now, unsurprisingly, the drivers of the black cabs are a bit upset about this because they're being undercut. Because, I mean, the taxis are not cheap. Getting the knowledge to drive to London is not cheap. So it has now been said by the Taxi Association that all Uber drivers must take an English test. And that's just come out today.
Yeah, it makes sense to me that anyone, I mean, I've never taken an Uber. There's been issues here in the state, and actually there was a huge issue of a murder that took place not far from where I used to live in Kalamazoo. And it's when you see those types of things where anyone and anything that has a car and is signed up for Uber can come pick you up, I have an issue with that. I think that these people should be registered or trained or licensed or something to say, yeah, it's a great idea, but where's the responsibility involved with, something to back them up?
Indeed, there's got to be some qualification. There's got to be insurance. There's got to be a whole range of things which are obviously in place. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to drive at all. But speaking of English, well, the majority, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But it is a new thing which has just come out today.
So I've seen you broadcasting on a new platform recently, Stephen. I saw you out on Facebook the other day with Daniel Mayer, is it?
Daniel Mayer, yep. Yes. Now, this all broke on Friday night when Hanimura, who we both know from our Blood days, and we're in contact with quite a lot, and you've had him on your show.
Yes.
More than once. It's a good friend to you. And he was having a chat with Daniel. And Daniel was giving a demonstration of his new software, which is...
Oh, is that where you saw him?
Yeah, it's BeLive.tv. And he said to him, can I just mention this in a group that I'm a member of? Yeah, that's the one, BeLive.tv. Yep. Can I mention it in a group? And Daniel said, yeah, go ahead. Okay. So he did. And he mentioned it in Born to Stream Live, which you and I are members of. And lo and behold, that's when I got hold of it the following morning, Saturday morning, new toy, couldn't resist. I went on and did a single person broadcast, and that was a doddle. That was relatively very straightforward, and I really enjoyed it. Now, you do it solo, and then you get an email saying that you can now do 2-up. So I got the email within half hour and did a 2-up with Roland Millward, who is a good friend who runs the local business club. And he and I did a session. And the beauty of it is that that system has integrated the Facebook feed, but it's done it very stylishly.
Yeah.
You can see the Facebook feed as you're actually in the BeLive.tv screen, and you can highlight any post that's put in the stream and bring it up on the live broadcast, and you can answer the question. So you take comments and answer questions. It's the KISS, keep it simple, stupid principle. It just works, and it works out the box. There were no problems at all. I don't know what the technology is behind it yet. We'll have to dig into that. But BeLive.tv.
It seems we've got a... I don't mean to cut you off here, Stephen, but I'm getting word from John in the chat there that we've gone to floating buttons, and I'm checking on sound here right now. I guess our Facebook Live broadcast is kind of terminated in some way or another. I'm asking John in the chat real quick. Can you hear us, John, or are you only seeing chat? If you can't hear us, then obviously we've got issues. Now, I'm recording what we have here in Camtasia 9, which I'll talk about here just before we wrap things up. But I wanted to stop you for a second to see if there's something we can do, Stephen. So let me see if I can... No sound. Okay, let me drag you off first, and I'm going to bring you back on, and we'll hit my camera. I'm going to show back up in here. All right, Stephen's back. We may lose the Facebook feed, but we'll see what happens here. There you are. Okay, I have the two of us back.
Hello, John, can you hear me?
Yeah, let's see what happens here.
I'm back.
Regardless, Stephen, even if it doesn't broadcast out to Facebook, let's just finish here. I have the Camtasia recording. I don't think John can hear us, so... And that's all right. We at least have a recording of what we're talking about. Maybe we can piece them together out of the two.
I can't see a picture and I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
You can hear me?
Yes, I can. Hold on. Hold on, that's fine. I'll get you in there.
Can you hear me, John?
What about now?
You can hear me.
Can you see me now?
I'm not sure if we can still go on Facebook.
I'm
Thank you
here.
very much. So, we're okay in the UK. I was well aware there. I was talking about all this wonderful new business software that works out of the box, and then, thank you, then this goes.
Can you hear me?
Thank you, Chris. Okay, hopefully Leland will be back in a moment. I'm pretty sure that this will have destroyed the Facebook feed. If it hasn't, then I've got a job of editing to do when I download the video from Facebook. Looking forward to the day when the video is actually on Smile Time. You can download it from Smile Time, which makes life a lot easier, because the quality of the videos coming from Facebook at the moment is exceptional but not good.
Okay, one more
You have
time.
nothing at all. Well, I'm gonna have to start again. I'll start on Be Live. When we get Leland back, I'll do my Be Live speech again. Taking care of what I'm saying then. So that's good. They didn't break the Facebook feed.
Can you hear me now?
Point. Right. Hello.
Hey, I'm back.
We're back, and we're back on Facebook. John's just confirmed that.
I was there with you the whole time talking to you, but you couldn't hear me or see me. Hey, Chris, what's up?
The last thing you asked me, and I'm going to start from the beginning, was about BeLive.tv. Now, wind back to last Friday night. Annie Muro was speaking to Daniel Mayer, who's the CEO of BeLive.tv, and he said to
Oh, yeah.
Daniel, can I post this in the group? So he posted it in Born to Stream Live, and that's where I saw it. So Saturday morning I got up and I was raring to go, and I tested it out solo, single user, and it worked brilliantly out of the box. And people could see me and hear me on Facebook, and I took questions and answered them. Half an hour later.
Well, I haven't tried it myself. You know, honestly, I'm Jewish. I love the fact that it came from Israel, so I can't argue that at all. I mean, that I think is a brilliant possibility for me to get involved with. The other aspect is they're taking it to another level, which we have not seen yet before in Facebook live streaming, which is the ability to incorporate other mobile devices, especially for like sporting events. Let's say you had 6 people on the stage, let's say, and you set them at all different locations within the sporting event. You could literally, as a program director, tell these people where to go take shots and then bring their feeds into your video and be able to cut 2 different scenes, basically take 1, take 2, take 3, and cut between cameras, which is something that has not been brought up before in any of these live stream platforms. I thought that was one of the coolest real-time production features that we have not encountered yet.
Indeed. I mean, I'm looking forward to testing that as well. I've tested the 1-up and 2-up, and the integration with Facebook, which is the Facebook feed, which is brilliant. It's very simple. When you're on BeLive.tv, you can see the Facebook stream virtually live. You can pick a comment, you can bring it up on the screen to highlight it. It shows the photograph. So the interaction that comes from that.
Oh yeah.
Because I did a show subsequent with Daniel, and the interaction was fantastic because John was there as well, and a lot of our friends were there, and because it was early in the morning, your time, everybody got involved, and the integration, the Facebook integration. Well, I'm looking forward to Smile Time doing it.
Yeah, that's coming. That's what they're talking about. And Roy, maybe if you're still here, you can say something on the chat there. But we are looking forward to the fact that sooner or later, we will be able to import the Facebook comments here. Now, there's a couple other things that came up recently that can be utilized. If you're not familiar with Restream.io, is one that I used to simulcast out to several different platforms. So you can check out Restream.io, and they have a chat app, which is an incorporation of any place you broadcast. You can literally bring in the chat feeds from all those locations at once, including now Facebook is what I'm hearing. So that's one opportunity. Maybe I'm wrong, but I know Joycaster is another. I know at one time they were basically, and they've rebranded. I don't know if anybody's out there, but it's called Switchboard.live now. So if you head over to Switchboard.live, that platform is set up a little differently than it used to be. Joycaster.co, or let me double check that. I'm pretty sure it's Joycaster.co. Sometimes I get these IOs and COs and everything else wrong because everybody's using all these new, it's not just .com and .net and .org anymore. We got all these other ones. So I think it is Joycaster.co. But if you go to Switchboard.live, I know you'll find it there. And what basically became of Joycaster is they say it's now Switchboard. Well, Switchboard is the parent company, and they're going to have several offerings underneath Switchboard. Joycaster.io is just one of those. And what it is it's another simulcasting platform, which allows you like 3 feeds for free. And then if you want to get into the collaboration, it's $10 a month and then upwards of there. So what ends up happening is you can simulcast out to Facebook and YouTube Live properly, the way that the Facebook terms of service allow you to do, which is to use the RTMP feed to YouTube when you're using the API to Facebook. That's the only restriction, okay? A lot of people think that you can't simulcast to both because Facebook gets ticked off and they'll shut off your feed and all that. No, that's not the case. It's simply they will not let you use 2 APIs to generate data across Facebook or share Facebook feeds into YouTube. So it's a little different. You can broadcast, but there's a lot going on over there, which is kind of cool, and it involves collaboration. On the back end, where you can schedule, and not only that, but work with other creators in the process. And they're looking at sharing feeds, sharing channels, a lot of behind the scenes collaboration, which I think is really unique. I've been in touch with their development team and have been talking with them on the phone. Great bunch of people over there also. So I'm going to dig into that a little bit. I haven't gotten too deep yet, but yeah. You can simulcast, Rory, over to YouTube. You just have to go through the RTMP on the back end rather than using the API like you're doing with Facebook right now, and they allow for it. You just have to get in there. I have a hard time finding the actual TOS that people keep saying. Facebook doesn't allow you to do this, that, and the other, but I have seen several individuals and corporations like Switchboard who have said, no, we're working with Facebook, and they do allow it in this fashion. You just have to do it a certain way. So looking forward to what's going to be coming up on that end. Because I'd love to see a YouTube plug here, too, where, Stephen, we could just simply upload this recording or this show even to YouTube Live and broadcast out to there at the same time. That'd be awesome.
It would. We could build an audience there as well. One lot of work serving two networks. That would be awesome if that could happen, especially if it's within the terms of service. Now, you had news about Camtasia.
Yes, October 11th was the big day that I was kind of under NDA. I couldn't disclose any pricing or any real definitions of features at that time. But as of October 11th, Camtasia 9/3 was announced, and what that means is Camtasia used to be known under the version 8 as Camtasia Studio. Now that is no longer the case. They have simply dropped the name to Camtasia because what they've done now is created a dual platform software, which if you're not familiar with Camtasia, it's basically a video editing package. It's much similar to Video Studio Pro by Corel, or many of the other Apple versions or Adobe versions, like I can't even think of the name of the Premiere. Adobe Premiere is basically what you can use there. And there's others, obviously, probably hundreds of them out there. But this one is kind of, it's a real top-notch program. Now, I could flash it on the screen, but I'm not going to squish down into this frame and be able to fit everything without going crazy. And I don't have it fired up because I'm actually recording with it on the back end. I'm doing a screen capture. Right, okay. And they have a much more elaborate screen capture ability than some might think. But they've now combined it in a version that allows you to install it on 2 machines, either PC or Mac or both, with one purchase. So they've also dropped the price, which it used to be about a $250 package, and now it's down to $199 US. It's a big leap for them. And, you know, I being a reseller, obviously, it's a huge opportunity for me to get out there and really push this product to the people who need video editors, because it does have features that not many of the others do. You can redline things on the fly and have magnification and panning, recording, and things like that within your videos. And then you can upload them and post them to a lot of the different video platforms out there, like YouTube and Dailymotion and Facebook and others. So there's a lot more involved there than people might expect. I am currently going through a lot of the training, and Stephen, I'm sure you just saw a post that I rescinded the other day. I am working in the background to really get motivated to start my BCB Live Webcaster Workshop out here on Smile Time and Fire Talk. So I will be going in depth into that program. Snagit, which is another one of their offerings that's a lesser version that captures video on screen, and some other aspects like Jing, and then Video Corel Studio. You know, we'll get into the Corel Video Studio program and all the platforms. I mean, that's the other thing that we're going to cover as far as training for people on the fly. So looking forward to it.
I mean, video editing is becoming more and more important, especially with live broadcasting like this. We can't put this out exactly as it is. It's got to be edited to go to YouTube and other platforms on the websites.
Now, John made a good point, and I just want to bring this up real quick because I saw the comment that they've removed support for MOV, and I'll tell you why. Because MOV is going away. QuickTime has announced that MOV will no longer be supported over at Apple. So what you need to consider there is people need to start to move away from recording or doing anything and actually start converting some of their older MOV files into newer MP4 formats of some sort or another, or at least something, so that they have the full support. And if you have not seen that announcement, go head over to QuickTime and see that it'll probably be by the end of the year that QuickTime will not even function anymore with MOV files. So it's just been something that is fading away, like a lot of other things that do over time. Oh, that was one more, Stephen. Livewire. Have you ever seen that program?
I heard of it, I've never seen it in action.
It's a chat feature that used to be integrated a lot on websites, and that was purchased by Adobe just at the beginning of the year. And I just received an email yesterday that Livewire, which was incorporated and embedded into a lot of websites to allow for IRC chats to be broadcast in real time during shows that are embedded into pages and things like that, that is also being thrown to the wayside. That's going to be gone as of February 2017, I think, for sure. For those that still use it, can still use it until that time. Anyone trying to find it now can't even get access to it. So just wanted to throw that out there for anybody that might know or use Livewire. That will be going away also.
Yeah, the word deprecation is easy to say, but that's what's happening, and with no say in it, and things are disappearing, and features that customers might be using disappearing, because it's not just a personal thing. If we look at our own personal stuff, we probably update our hardware pretty regularly, but true of a lot of businesses, they don't, because they'd rather buy plant and machinery than the latest computers and the latest software. So this is going to affect a number of people, and just got to live with it, I suppose.
Yeah, and just to fulfill, John, I know you're a big MOV fan. If you want to do a quick search, this was announced in April that QuickTime for Windows would no longer be supported by Apple. You can do an end-of-life QuickTime MOV search on Google, and you should find the article over at Cinema 5D, and that'll give you a little more information. Okay. Well, Stephen, I think I'm set. I really don't have anything else for the viewers today, so if you want to take us home.
I think we've been and discussed a lot of topics both sides of the pond and enjoyed ourselves as usual. Hopefully everybody who's joined us has enjoyed it too. We apologise for the technical difficulties and thank Rory for his help in getting this going again, and we look forward to being back here at the same time next week, because small time is where we live now, and we're here to stay, and we just want to see just the odd, feature. We'll go with that.
All right, Stephen. Well, from this side of the pond, I enjoy these ventures with you every time we get a chance to come out here. It's just kind of my opportunity to sit down and communicate with the other side of the planet. So we do appreciate you being here as always. And John and Rory and those who supported us in the chat today, thanks for being here. We'll see you next week.
Okay, take care, everybody. See you all later.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Leland.